It is Wednesday, November 12th, and I am on my annual solo trip of the season. I try and take a solo trip once every October usually, but this year it just ended up being in November, but it's actually suits me a little bit better. But now I'm going to be here in Saxapahaw, North Carolina for 2 nights, just 2 nights and 3 days away. It's all I really need for a solo trip. But I'm at an Airbnb, and it was kind of a last minute find, and the host just ran me through how the cabin works, and I'm very excited. It's like 5 o'clock now, but it's still like the sun is about to go down very soon. And I'm debating if I should or have time to make a fire in the wood stove or not, because I'm here because I'm going to go to a music show tonight at the Haw River Ballroom, and then tomorrow night another show in Durham. So tonight I'm seeing Flock of Dimes, who is Jen Wasner, and she's just a really cool girl in the music industry, but she's, I don't know, maybe in her 40s now, but she's had like a really successful career as a female musician, playing for other musicians on their tours, and then also having her own solo career. So she's someone that I've always paid attention to, but I've actually not listened to a ton of her music. I'm just kind of letting myself be surprised by what she plays tonight, because she released a new album recently, and I haven't really given it a lot of attention, but I know I like it. So I'm excited about that. Doors are at 7, and the venue's like 7 minutes away from here. So I've got the next 2 hours. I've only eaten yogurt today and a little gas station ham and cheese. So I should get food before everything closes, because I did not pack anything. I just kind of packed a bag and left. So I'm gonna look for some food. Maybe build a quick fire, and then come back after the show and start my deep dive into reflection. The whole point of this trip is to just be journaling, reading, thinking, and exploring this beautiful property, because this is really what I grew up doing, was just wandering around the pond and the pastures, and there are a lot of horses and ducks and dogs on the property, so it's just really nice to be out in a location like this. I've really only brought coffee, some chamomile tea, and some mini M&Ms, and a bagel. I did bring a beautiful bottle of wine that I'm excited to try, and a really awesome stout. It feels so good. I wish that everybody could do this, and I hope this inspires people to take trips like this for themselves. The Airbnb alone was probably like $300 for 2 nights, which is a little steep, but I just really wanted everything this place could offer. So $300 worth the investment. I'm taking 2 days off, and my last day I'm gonna drive back to Wilmington and work that night. So taking 2 days off for this. The tickets for the shows maybe were $20 for tonight's show, $30 for tomorrow night's show, and then I'm just gonna pay for food, and gas was like $30. This is definitely a trip that you can save up for. So I encourage you to find a place in your 2-3 hour radius, take a solo 2 days to just reset and address things. Give yourself the space to see what comes up. So I'm excited to do that. I'm gonna just enjoy the rest of this dusk, see what's next.
Hear the chorus of frogs and crickets. This life is honest, I will not forget. If only I
Okay, so it is the first night. I'm about to get to bed, but I just wanted to debrief on the show, kind of only briefly. I have a lot of thoughts about the music from tonight, but I was thoroughly impressed by the opener. It was maybe more my cup of tea. She played solo, and then the headliner played as like a more of a full band piece, but I was like further from the stage for when the headliner, Jen Wasner, went on. And I just didn't connect. I like honestly sat outside a little bit for Jen Wasner's set. I didn't connect with it as much, but something that was really interesting, the one thing that I want to say about the opener was so stripped back, just her and a guitar and her voice, very exposed, not stripped back, but just so super exposed, and she came out with such humility, but also just exuding like confidence in her ability. She clearly knew how to play and was very comfortable playing guitar. Her performance style was very, she didn't want to speak too much, which I really like. I don't love it when a musician talks their way through the show. Just kind of let the people be in the music, make a soft transition, bring on more music, and like, I want to be like almost like begging for information about like, who are you? Where did you come from? Like, where do you live? What's your life like? Like, what are your experiences like? I don't really like a story between every song. I don't want it to reveal too much. But anyway, this is exactly what Natalie did. I thought it was also just maybe her personality. She finally was just like, yeah, I'm from North Carolina, I live here. And so apparently she is a local artist. I was only on this 1 week of the tour with Jen. And from the waist up, she was so confident, still assured, engaging with the crowd, not like hiding within herself and like looking down. She was looking out. And this almost fooled me because she was like, I'm terribly nervous. I'm like trying to tell myself to like slow down. During her set, she had said that aloud, but she's like, I'm nervous and I'm trying to tell myself to slow down. And I was like, I did not perceive any nerves in you. And then I looked down at I could see she was wearing these white jeans that at the there was no hem on the end. It was by her ankles there, it was just like some loose thread that was hanging down, and I could just see the threads just like quivering, just like with shaking nerves. And I was just like, man, I connect with that, where oftentimes when I'm on stage I am just forcing myself to be like, be calm, be confident, like, you know how to do this. And then you just have to, you cannot override your bodily excitement and nerves and everything that's going on. So I just really liked that I could see that I was like, and it was almost uncomfortable to see that this person is like actually holding back and trying to hide and override maybe the bodily functions of nerves. But I think it set up my weekend very perfectly. Her music involved a lot of just really authentic contemplation and like musings, I suppose. And she's got an album coming out in March called Honest Woman, I think. Just thinking about womanhood and the experience with that. And also the book that I've been reading, Orlando by Virginia Woolf, pairs beautifully with that. I'm almost more than halfway through that novel, and it's so good. I also brought along my Fyodor Dostoevsky, The Idiot, which is a project book of mine. Started that. I've really been wanting to read some of Dostoevsky for a while. I think that's going to be a good winter read. I've also brought along a self-help book called How to Do the Work by Nicole LePera. Dr. Nicole LePera is her name. I've had this book for a really long time, and it just takes you through the work that you're responsible for reframing your reality and not living through the lens of your childhood views on things. So I feel that will pair very well with my discoveries. I'm going to journal a lot tomorrow, and then I've also brought one of my wine books right now, which is a very big deep dive book called Wine for Normal People. I really am not setting out to finish anything, finish books or whatever. I just wanted to give myself enough opportunity to just dive into some of the books on my plate. So, okay. And I'm really excited to get up there and sleep in this very cozy bed. Decided to find myself a home in the mountains, somewhere high up, one learns to live peacefully in the cold and the silence.
The true beauty of human spirit that I think is embodied within music, like no other genre, like nothing else in the entire planet. The music.
He's
music debrief. Obviously, I've just shown you some clips of tonight's show at the Carolina Theater, and it was really fun. I had a long drive between the show and to get to this point. It was about like more than 45 minutes or so. Long drive for me, and I, for some reason, was blasting that 2016 1975 album. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I know it came out then. It's the one with like She's So American and like somebody else. All of those bangers on that album. I was blasting that. The stars are so bright. Heater on, windows down, that kind of drive. It was fantastic. But now I'm trying to like collect my thoughts more on the music I just witnessed, which was phenomenal. So phenomenal. And I have seen Phil Cook one other time, about almost a year ago now, in Durham. He doesn't play a lot of shows, and Durham is his hometown now. He's been here for 20 years, but he grew up in Wisconsin. But anyway, so there was just a lot of like who's who of Durham, I guess, there. And I was sitting next to this, I was sitting on the very edge. I picked that seat specifically because I go to the bathroom a lot during shows. Very small bladder. And sitting next to this filmmaker, I deduced, and they know Phil somehow, and like all buddy and like whatever. I don't know, the sense that I was one of the younger people in the crowd. Okay, so that's like one thing, but usually in a show like that that's so like fun and inviting, like people would talk to you, strangers would talk to you, be like, hey, are you here alone? I don't know, just like nobody asked that. And I think I get this vibe that these like 50-year-old plus Durham folks are so interesting and they have such intricate stories, but they're kind of like closed off. Like they don't really want to like reach out. So that's something I don't like about Durham. But the show was phenomenal. No opener, just Phil Cook. He started with a solo piano set, which is the music of his that I really, really enjoy. He came back to doing piano music in 2020 and released some solo piano albums, which I play when I first wake up a lot of the time. It's really good getting ready for the day music, collecting your thoughts, because there's no voice. It's just piano in a meditative sort of tone. I highly recommend his two latest albums, Appalachia Borealis, and then also, I think it's called Brothers or something. His two latest piano solo albums are fantastic, just from Phil Cook. And then he played through the entirety of one of his albums from 2015. He played all the way through, and he invited a lot of guests that had made this album come to be what it was, which is pretty cool, because he had some incredible Durham musicians and also just big players in his own life. Amelia Meath from Sylvanesso, she was up there singing, and I had no idea that, and Phil had explained the story from stage, that before this album came out in 2015, he had spent 3 days to demo all the songs and sent all the demos first to Amelia. I guess they were friends back then. And so he said from stage, he's like, she's been my champion since day one, which is so sweet. To think that I was 17 years old at the time when that was all going on, that's kind of crazy. So it's very cool to see her up there. I am blanking on a lot of the other names that were there on the stage, but I am thoroughly impressed with them. And every one of them has their own solo project. It sounds like every one of them is like just doing a really interesting thing. So I want to name all of them in the description after I've done my research to see what their projects are, because I do know that the drummer, Matthew, he is the drummer for Bonnie Light Horseman and other projects. And then the guitar player, I thought that he was one of the Desner brothers for the longest time, because I was looking at him, I was like, he totally looks like one of the Desners. He was not. He's not. He was another guy. And I need to look up his solo project too. Then Phil Cook is brothers with Brad Cook, who is a big music producer right now. He worked with Taylor Swift recently. He's been working with a lot of big names. He and Phil seem to be very different, but very close and connected and all that. Phil Cook specifically is really involved in the gospel community and has always been attracted to that. And obviously him growing up in Wisconsin didn't introduce him to that very well. So now that he's established in Durham, it's opened these incredible doors for him. So he was just such an advocate for like all of these wonderful gospel singers, which he brought up a few other guests for a few songs who have, and he introduced this term to me that were just like tradition bearers, like the bearers of tradition, and how that struck me as so important, and sad that I will never be a tradition bearer in a way where I was just like thrown to be like, what tradition do I have? Have I been like, could I carry on? Like, I don't have any torch to carry, which is fine. But in a small way, I was just kind of like, damn, I don't have anything. I'll never be that way. But that was a little woe is me moment that it was just interesting to clock that with my ego. But these two women who I believe are from New York, they were just like the tradition bearers of this gospel group from, I think it was the, I'm blanking on all of the names. He mentioned a caravan group of gospel singers during the civil rights movement, and these two women were the descendants. But I guess my last thoughts to wrap this up about the music experiences from today versus yesterday or last night. And I'm not saying that one thing is better than another, because that is all just up to experience. It's objective, and it's also time and place. Sometimes I'm in the mood for this, sometimes I'm in the mood for that. But I think that I much prefer experiences like tonight as opposed to last night. Phil Cook's attitude to sharing his music was, at the start, like, he was just like, I am unabashedly going to say that my solo piano music and the full band stuff you're about to hear tonight is like 100% me. Like, it is just me at my core, being like, I'm showing you myself. And he was so happy to do so. And also just like unafraid to say that this is my art that I'm so joyful to share. And so grateful that y'all are here. It was such a beautiful, like, celebration of that. Whereas I felt that the music from last night from Flock of Dimes was, at the core of the music, it was really good contemplation, really good, like, working through things. But the presentation of it was so, like, I have a hard time critiquing this because I love Jen Wasner and I believe in her music, but the way that it was shared last night, or maybe the way that I'm like, oh, this is your personality on stage and this is who you are as a person, didn't really click with me. And so I just didn't enjoy the music as much as I do listening solo without this, like, personality in front of me. I didn't enjoy her personality as much as Phil Cook. It seemed less open to me and it felt more like I'm going to try and entertain you. That's the best way I could put it. So I've had like a really, I'm trying to keep this short so I can fit this all in one video, but I've had a really interesting time reflecting on these two musical moments 24 hours apart from each other. And what I've taken from that for myself, I've taken a lot of these experiences for my own education and refinement, which is kind of what music's all about for me. But I really enjoy, like, going to music shows alone like this and just feeling free enough to be like, if I want to, like, bop around and be like, woo, put your hands up in the air. None of your friends are going to be like, that's weird of you to do. You don't usually do that. there's no judgment because nobody knows you. I got 2 Pilsners when I was there after I had just had a whiskey and a wine, and I was feeling great. And this is not my favorite. I do not like this very much. Stouts are thick as ice cream. Like, it is kind of crazy. So anyway, so that's I'm gonna wrap up that last note. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to say. Okay, one other thing that I wanted to say about last night's show, watching Jen Wasner. I went up to her afterwards because the whole room had cleared out and she was by her merch table, and I was just like, thank you so much for singing to us. And she was kind of like very peppy and was just like, thanks so much for being here. This is great. This is fun. I love being here. And then she had mentioned something. She's like, in response to, thank you so much for singing for us. I think was the actual wording. And she's like, it's the only thing I'm good at. And I was like, oh, no. I mean, that's clearly not. And she was just like, no, I mean it. It's the only thing I'm good at. And without knowing her personality that well or knowing her, I was just like, oh, like, I don't know, what am I supposed to say? And it's also like, that was awkward. That was very awkward. And it made me feel like I had one other interaction like this with a musician that I admired that was just like, maybe don't say that to a new fan. Maybe don't make them feel that you are trying to level in that way. We were just like, this is the only thing I'm good at. I was just like, oh, okay. It was nice talking to you. Thanks again. Like, it was very awkward. And there was another time where I went up to an artist who was playing a free show in Nashville, like in a summer, like, garden space, essentially. This was like a music series that was always free in Nashville. And I was just like, thank you so much for being here. I've been like wanting to see you play. I've been listening to your music a lot, whatever. And he was like, hey, thanks. I don't know if it was too good. That wasn't our best set. We just got off this big tour in Europe and like everything felt so much better over there. And I was like, okay, well, like, it felt pretty good to me. I'm sorry if this didn't feel great. Like, I genuinely understand. I'm sorry that didn't feel great for you tonight, but also don't tell me, like, don't just like shove it down my throat that you're just like, I've had better. I was like, this is my first time seeing you. What? And also, like, now I feel like I need to console you. So that's something I've always learned is just like, don't complain. You could admit some certain things like, oh man, it was kind of hard to like see everybody and I couldn't connect as well as I wanted to because the lights were in my face, whatever. If that's the case, like, that's fine. That's actually like a point of just like actually leveling with someone. That's something I've learned. And that's a wrap on these thoughts here because I'm going to start to watch maybe Harry Potter, take off my makeup, get in my cozy clothes, and enjoy my last night. Let's look at the stars, too. I'll look at the stars for a little bit, too. That's going to be good. All right, bye. Check them out. Very sad to check out.
I was fooled by your car. I was lost, but your fool was a long visit round. Say you are the only So